Today's agricultural fact of the day does have to piggyback off of yesterday's, and it does relate to eggs. The fact of the day for March 1st, the bloom is the moist protective coating on a freshly laid egg that partially seals the pores of the eggshell to prevent penetration by bacteria. The bloom is also called the cuticle. Once the egg is washed, the bloom is gone, and the egg must then be refrigerated to lessen the chance of bacteria from penetrating it. With the bloom intact, eggs can last on the counter in stable temperatures for months. On my video from yesterday, there were some people that commented and stated that they had laying hens at home and that they collect their eggs and leave them on the counter for months and they stay fresh and good. That is 100% true. If you have laying hens at home and you collect those eggs and that bloom is still intact, you haven't washed them, you haven't refrigerated them, and there's no poop on them, they can keep on the counter as long as the temperature is stable. That's very important. The reason I say that about stable temperature is because if the farm or wherever you're getting your eggs from also has a rooster in their flock during certain times of the year in certain parts of the country, those eggs could start developing. Because in order for a chick to start developing, it needs to be kept at a temperature around 99.5. Where we are located, it's most likely to occur in the months of late July and August. It takes about 7 days with temperatures fluctuating around 99.5 for development to start occurring. But that's also why they recommend candling eggs prior to selling them. I did want to follow up with this fact though, because I didn't want people being confused. Once an egg is refrigerated, it should stay refrigerated. You cannot take an unwashed egg, put it in the refrigerator, take it out a couple of days later, and then store it on the counter, because the condensation will mess up the bloom. And basically the loss of bloom as it keeps out bacteria also helps to slow the decomposition. So once the egg is washed, if you leave it out on the counter, it's not going to go bad instantly, but it will deteriorate quicker over a shorter period of time. Everybody manages their own eggs from their laying hens at home differently. Every farmer does it differently, and that's okay. The main thing is that safe practices are followed to help prevent instances of foodborne illnesses. I did make a video last spring. I had just gone out to my chicken coop. A laying hen had just laid an egg, and I picked it up out of the nesting box, and it was still covered in the bloom. The bloom was still wet, and that's what it is. It's just a clear coating. For most breeds, it's a clear coating that appears wet and will dry in a short period of time. The eggs that you buy at the store have the bloom removed because federal regulations state that those eggs must be washed and refrigerated prior to sale. Myself, as a small scale farmer, my eggs are washed too, because in the state of New York, eggs must be refrigerated prior to sale. And if you're going to follow food safe guidelines, they should be washed prior to refrigeration, because the bloom will be compromised and there could still be a chance that bacteria is on that eggshell. I hope that you found this agricultural fact of the day to be educational, and I'm so excited to have so many new followers because that means that I have a lot of new students. So this is what the bloom looks like on the outside of an egg. This chicken literally just laid this egg, and this is the chicken. So it's a cream leg bar. These, ideally I would be aiming for a lighter blue in color, but I'll take it. So that's what it looks like, that protective outer coating. When it's laid, it's wet, and then it quickly dries, and that's the bloom. And this blue one next to it is actually the shade that cream leg bars are supposed to lay. That beautiful sky blue color. And here it is outside in daylight. Look at, there's such a distinctive difference between those two, but the blue is definitely what we're aiming for.